Barcelona is evolving into an unstoppable force as Hansi Flick's tactics are pushing them to their limits. Barca still relies on their classic triangular attack, focused on attacking the half spaces with neat technical skills and quick combinations. They play with extreme player proximity to create unpredictable attacks, as we could even see the right winger in the center to execute those combinations. Meanwhile, traditional positional rotations between the winger and fullback can be seen on both flanks. They make constant positional interchanges to find gaps in the defense, and the players repeat certain movement patterns to attack dangerous areas. On the basic level, Barca is sticking to their typical 4-2 build-up shape. The obvious idea is to use the attacking midfielder as a free option between the lines. Every opposition will defend it by closing the center. Now Barca will try to reduce the compactness of the opposition by contrasting movements. Here the opposition wants to trap them wide, as their movements are aimed at denying any free option for the fullback. Barca's objective is to find the free man who is unmarked, as his partner midfielders are pinning the opposition midfielders, but the pass is close. No players must use their creativity, but still there is a problem, as the free player will be closed down from all sides. To solve this, they can use trained movement patterns. Fullback inverts to the free space, while one pivot becomes the temporary fullback, and the other pivot moves away to create an open lane to the free space. The movement unlocks two progression possibilities. One is to use a wide combination, but the best choice is to play the inverted fullback who has a lot of space inside and the whole press will be bypassed. These are not completely rehearsed robotic patterns. Instead, the players are trained to recognize free space so that they naturally move into those areas. Flick's tactics come into real action in the middle third when they face compact defensive blocks. One common idea is to overload the center backs with at least two players. It can be a striker and an attacking midfielder, or even an inverted winger and the striker. They don't simply position in central zones. Instead, they make constant positional interchanges to destabilize the backline. Here, Rafinha is checking for Lewandowski's position. He realized that space is open for a striker, as he himself is dragging a centre back out of position. Rafinha is asking to play directly to Lewandowski, but that passing lane was unavailable, and instead the left back used a combination to find the striker. The two-man central occupation may become a three-man overload when the attacking midfielder moves central. Here the striker makes the run into the space between the centre backs to drag both of them deep. Now the attacking midfielder moves wide to offer a passing lane. This dragged a midfielder and opened the center for the third player, which is the inverted winger here. In some situations, the center midfielder may also join the inverted winger. The idea is to manipulate the opposition. Pedri's movement attracts the attention of the right center midfielder, who is supposed to protect this particular zone. As he is dragged away, De Jong can use his disguised passing ability to find the inverted winger. In similar words, the idea of close proximity disrupted the opposition shape, and ultimately it helped the individual to express his technical strength. The sequence progressed by using the same close proximity advantage. The dynamic occupation of half spaces is a major attacking concept under Flick. The inversion of winger to the half space, coupled with fullbacks run on the flanks, can create a pressing dilemma for any defender. Now opposition may react by marking the winger using a center midfielder, as it will help the fullback to just focus on the wide attacker. However, Barca is intelligent enough to solve this problem. Here the center midfielder's wide movement opened the center, and thus Barca's center midfielder quickly moved into that free space and the press is easily bypassed. Now the ball carrier has multiple options thanks to the player proximity. If the winger is wide, then the fullback will move inside to equip half space. This helps Barca to use their dribbling winger in an isolated 1v1 situation. These dynamic movements into the half space are very unpredictable, and both Yamal and Rooney thrive in these chaotic situations. The primary intention is to always attack the half space. Both striker and attacking midfielder can overload the opposition center midfielder to cause a pressing dilemma. Now to open the passing lane, The center midfielder may move inside to drag his marker. In addition, the narrow positioning of fullback will attract the winger to ultimately open a clever pass to the half space. Once the half space is accessed, almost every Barca player is technically capable of beating pressure in tight spaces. This is a good example of blending both team tactic and individual technique to achieve maximum output. Almost every attack is focused on finding these technical players in half spaces. In addition to these passes, Barca also use a lot of half space runs. The winger will drag the fullback wide to create that gap in the backline. Now the attacking midfielders can attack this space, and it's an easy way to gain territory in the final third. Any fullback will naturally get dragged towards Yamal to stop him from getting the ball. So Barca can use this press baiting ability to attack holes in the backline. So it's clear that Flick has started from where he left in the last season, and I think Barca is slowly becoming an unstoppable force.